Hello there, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another fragrance review, and today I'm coming to you from the Middle East. I'm in Saudi Riyadh, and a perfect place to review a fragrance that's probably apt to be called a Middle Eastern fragrance by all means. And we are talking about the Zumar from the house of Ahmed Al Maghribi. Is this beautiful, gorgeous fragrance, and this is probably the most expensive Ahmed fragrance out there in my opinion, and probably at least the most expensive one that I'm reviewing for this particular review or video. And I'm telling you that this is priced pretty high. The question is, does it justify this price? And I think it does. Exceptionally priced at about 10,000 plus Indian rupees, for a retail unit of just 60 ml. So it makes it quite an exquisite type of a fragrance, and I will tell you why I think it is so expensively priced, and the quality of the fragrance, the fragrance scent profile, all of that we will talk all about it in this particular video. If you like this kind of fragrance reviews, then definitely hit the subscribe button, like, and get a notification icon every time a new video comes out. You're watching the Perfume Experience. My name is Rodney. Let's get going right after this intro. Alright, welcome back, and this is the Zumar from Ahmed Al Maghribi. It's a 60 ml bottle that comes in a beautiful presentation like this. In fact, it has a whole presentation which I did not carry with me because it was too heavy to carry as such, but I'll put out the images to tell you a very top-notch presentation that you kind of get for a price point at this. And this is really beautiful as a bottle as well. It has got this kind of a pearl, at the top. It's a nice cap which is plasticky kind of a cap itself, nothing very metallic about it, but the bottle itself looks very heavy, heavy quality as such, and the juice of course is really gorgeous as well. So smells is what we have to talk about, and I will tell you why this is an expensive fragrance as such, and why the smells really good. Okay, so let's do one quick spray. The sprayer is absolutely good, and there is just two sprays, and this is a very beautiful fragrance as such. Now let me give you a story about this fragrance, actually what happened. So I've been having this for about 3 to 4 weeks now, and I have tried it a couple of times at home as well. Now the moment I put it on the first time, it was quite breathtaking in a way to say that, okay, this is something different. It's not groundbreaking per se, it's not something very unique that you will come across or something as such. But the moment you smell it, you realize that you're smelling something totally beautiful. Okay, that's the right word to use. And I'll tell you what happened here. So I wore this on Saturday afternoon here. It was very hot. It's about 40 degrees here right now. And I got into the cab, and in a span of 30 minutes time, the cab driver actually asked me 2 times, what fragrance am I wearing? And he actually went on to tell me that it actually smells very nice what you're wearing, so it must be a kind of good oud that you're wearing, because it smells very good. So he did that in the first 5 minutes time, and then by the end of the trip in about 25 minutes time he asked me again. So that's the type of compliment magnet this beautiful fragrance is. Okay, now why do you get compliments from a fragrance such as Zumar? Okay, now the first thing to note here is the notes of this fragrance. Let me give you an overview of what it actually has. This actually has a pear note. Okay, so a fruity, the yellow pear note, and along with that it's got a little bit of a saffron. Okay, and it has actually kinam oud right at the top. Okay, so the top note itself is a very fruity, slightly sweet, but a oud dominant note. And the first impressions that you get is you get this nice, slightly animalic, slightly skanky type of oud coming to you, but it is polished so very well that the way in which it kind of comes into the air, you actually get more of that fruity vibe than the oud itself. But the oud is absolutely dominant here, no doubt about it. But it is not one of those oud types that is there in the bin shake or in any other type of fragrance. Okay, first thing. Now the second part of this fragrance is supported by a lot of floral notes like gardenia, jasmine, and Bulgarian rose. But I would say subtly you kind of get a little bit of a floral vibe. You do get a subtle, mild type of a rose fragrance in the background. And the third part, the base note, is supported by a lot of gourmand type of vibes, such as coffee note, amrit, as such, or even for that matter cacao. These are some things that are actually there. Even sugar is also another element that is there. But let's take all of those things aside and let's just basically talk about what makes Zumar so special. Okay, now I told you the oud that is included in this is called the Kinam oud. Okay, now Kinam oud is basically, if you think about oud fragrances as such, or if you think about oud as such, you have Cambodian oud, you have Hindi oud, you have Vietnam oud, all of these type of oud. But among all of these oud, the Kinam oud is supposed to be considered as the most purest and the best quality of oud. Okay, the reason for that is all of the other oud get generated because the tree, the Akigara, or Aquiliara tree gets actually infected or infested, is either infested on purpose, okay, or actually gets infested over a period of time, and because of which there is a resin, and that resin is oud. Okay, but for Kinam oud, it actually happens naturally. That means the tree actually contains certain elements because of which it actually gets the resinous smell in it all through naturally, and does not actually need a infestation of any type. So that means that the times that you actually kind of get Kinam oud is very lesser. Okay, so if you have about 100 trees, probably about 10 to 12% of the time is where you will get Kinam oud. So the quality of oud is very pure, very high, and very, very rich smelling. Now it is one of those ouds that is actually used a lot by the Japanese people in their prayers and all of that. Even the Middle Eastern folks use. But it is considered as one of the top grade when it comes to oud, and one of the most purest oud forms to kind of obtain, and that's what makes Kinam so beautiful. So the initial part where I told you that there is this slight animalic, skanky vibe that you get, but at the same time this is so intoxicating that you actually absolutely love it. Okay, so the scent profile of this fragrance is more of a fruity pear oud opening, followed by subtle hints of rose across, and then you get into a dry down where you kind of get a little bit of that cacao seed, coffee type of a slight dry down, but the oud kind of comes down from that start opening to a more mellow dry down, and that oud will remain with you all throughout. Okay, now the kind of projection that you get, this is not a beast mode kind of a scent. Okay, this is, although this has got about 40% of the volume, this isn't a beast mode scent as Bin Shake. Okay, now that is for the right reasons, and I think why it is such a beautiful thing here. This is the type of scent that will project only for about 2 to 2.5 feet. Okay, and it will last. It lasts on your skin. It does 7-8 hours time. On your apparel, trust me, you get 2 days plus on your apparel. It just sticks to your clothes for days together. Every time you take out your clothes, I mean, if it is not washed, you just take it up and you smell it, you will smell that distinct smell of Zumar. Okay, no doubts about it. Now, what kind of a person should wear this particular type of fragrance? Okay, and that's, I think, the key element. Who is this designed for? Now the price point in which it comes, like I said, it's about 10,000 plus rupees to get a 60 ml of this. Now the way in which I think somebody should wear this is, generally there are two type of people who wants to grab attention. One is the person who wears a lot of bling, like you wear a lot of jewelry, you wear a lot of flashy clothes and all of that. This fragrance is not for you, okay, because it's not going to do that. The other type of person is, you will wear the most simplest outfits, but the most costliest outfits, and anybody looks at you knows that you come from a very strong background, okay? Like you might wear just a beige color shirt and a beige pant, or a white shirt and a white pant, and then you have one Rolex in your hand and you just walk across, and the moment somebody sees you, they know that you are a powerful person, but yet you are not exuding any of those strong sense of fragrance from you. But the moment somebody comes in your vicinity, they get observed or into a realm of fragrance which kind of captivates you, and that's the way I would say Zumar works. Okay, so this is for the person who is rich, classy, and yet does not want to intrude in anybody's aura of space, but yet somebody comes into your circle, they kind of get blown away by the scent quality that is there, and that is absolutely phenomenal. Now, I was asked to review this fragrance by a lot of you, and I had been pushing it because it is quite expensive, like I said. So this is a 20 ml partial that I still got. I do have a couple of more decants available of this fragrance in case if somebody is interested. Please DM me. Those are 10 ml decants I'd be happy to part with. But on the whole, if you are a oud lover, you love oud as a note, you love oud fragrances, you've had a lot of oud fragrances within your collection, and let's say you also had bin shake, should you consider getting this? The answer is absolutely yes, because in contrast to how bin shake projects overly sweet, overly rose and overly oud kind of thing, this one does the reverse. It has a more subtle nuance to it, it has a more subtle personality to it, yet it exudes luxury like anything. So if you like oud, then absolutely you are going to like this kind of a fragrance. This, in my opinion, is not a blind buy kind of a fragrance. It is definitely better to try this fragrance somewhere in a decant or in some format and then go for a full bottle. But trust me, if you do get the full bottle, you are absolutely going to enjoy it because you will love this fragrance all throughout. So that's what I thought about this beautiful fragrance, and let me do a quick summary in Hindi. So ये जो फ्रेग्रेंस है आमद का जुमार, ये एक बहुत ही महंगा फ्रेग्रेंस है, ये इनका 10,000 रुपए के ऊपर जाता है। और इसमें जो खासियत है, ये इसमें खिनाम ऊद का यूज़ किया जाता है। खिनाम ऊद ऐसा वाला ऊद है जो ऊद की कैटेगरी में भी इसको सबसे बढ़िया माना जाता है और इसकी प्योरिटी सबसे हाई माना जाता है। तो उस ऊद को इसमें बना के इसको बनाया है ये फ्रेग्रेंस को। तो इसकी एक जो प्रोफाइल है, ये आपको थोड़ा फ्रूटी, थोड़ी मिठास मिलेगी, बट उसकी जो एक ऊद की जो नोट है वो खुल के आती है, और इसमें हल्की सी आपको रोजेस की वाइब मिलेगी और ड्राई डाउन में थोड़ी कॉफ़ी वाली ड्राई डाउन मिलेगा, बट फिर भी उसमें बहुत सारा ऊद मिलेगा। बट मेरे हिसाब से ये एक बहुत अमीर इंसान जो सिंपल रहता है बट फिर भी वो बहुत पावरफुल है, उस तरफ इंसान के लिए ये काफ़ी पसंद आएगा। तो अगर आपके पास ऊद का एक फ्रेग्रेंस कलेक्शन है और आपको ऊद बहुत पसंद आता है, तो ज़रूर इसको आप ट्राई कीजिए। ये है जुमार फ्रॉम आमद। So that is what I thought about Ahmed Al Maghribi's Zumar, and if you kind of like the video, hit the like button, subscribe and share, and follow us on the website, ThePerfumeExperience.in, for genuine fragrances, a lot of decant options, lots of things happening there. Follow us and keep you posted. Take care. Bye bye.